All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it. We're pretty excited to be here today to have the opening of another section of the Milltowns Trail. So with the trail opening and the bridge dedication, it gives us another great big link to completing part of the Milltowns Trail, especially within the city of Faribault. This section of the trail was originally scheduled to be the first part done before we did the 3 and 21 interchange, but because of how some of the finances worked and some construction that was going to be happening on that end, we ended up doing the 3 and 21 interchange first, and it just took us from 2012 until now to complete this section of it. So excited to be done with the next section of the trail here then. For those of you that remember, when we did the groundbreaking for this, November 13th of last year, cold and blistery. That wind was blowing and it was cold out here. So much warmer today. So nice day to be here then. The one thing we've got left to do with local trails here is to still complete the section of trail that comes out of North Alexander Park and connects up at 3 and 21. So we're hoping that that's the next section that we're able to move forward with. So, you know, we're excited to keep moving forward and keep applying for grant funds to try and to get that part accomplished here. On this project here, recognize Scott Hagan. He was with the DNR. He did a lot of the work as far as getting the plans all ready to go, working with MnDOT, working through the DNR, working with the property owners, the city of Faribault. He was kind of the go-to guy for a lot of the stuff that happened down here, pretty much all the stuff that happened on this trail section here. So appreciate everything that Scott has done with that. Also want to recognize Peggy Pro. She's kind of been the champion of the Milltown. She has been working on the trail forever and ever. Any elected body in the state of Minnesota knows who Peggy is, and I think they duck in and out of different doors when she comes walking down the hallway. I'd like to just recognize a few different people. We had a few that have not been able to make it today, but we're hoping to get here. One, we'd like to recognize Chuck Ackman. He's here with the Southern Minnesota Outreach Director for Amy Klobuchar's office. I talked to Brian Daniels earlier today. He was hoping to make it. He was not able to make it. Last time I talked to Senator Jasinski, he thought he would be here, but I don't see him in the crowd. We have a couple of city council people here. I see Elizabeth Kapp out here. And Mayor Voracek is here also, but I don't see any other council people out here. City staff, we've got Tim Murray, Dustin, and Andy Bolin are out here. Do we have any other city staff out here? County commissioners, Dave Miller. And then on the DNR, Scott Haugen is here, and Peter Hark are both here from the DNR. So we appreciate that. And then there's a couple of members from the Milltowns Trail Board that are here. Members from the Snow Go and Faribault Bike Club. The Bike Club people have all the fancy t-shirts on today. And then just a big thank you to our contractor, Swanky Imes, who was the contractor for that. Now to say a few words, we have a few different people who speak up. First to be Mayor Kevin Voracek.
I like it when I get to go early because there's still things left to say. But as Paul said, we still need to finish our route over to North Alexander so that we have a safe passage underneath the railroad trestle. And John Jasinski just showed up. Everybody say hi, John. We still need to finish that trail connection so that we can keep people off the roads. This is a great connection for us to keep people off the roads going north, and it gives them a nice trail to look at the maps and figure out how to get from Mankato eventually all the way over to Cannon Falls and beyond. So every little segment that we get done is a big milestone forward. Peggy knows the troubles that she's had with the DNR, and not just the DNR, but everybody's funding. Everybody has a project to do, and everybody has somewhere to dedicate the money. So we're really excited about people using the trail and the DNR stepping up to get this done, and we look forward to longevity out of this trail and hope that we can use this trail long into the future. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry I was late. I was stuck in traffic. Daikin gets out at about 4:15. 30th Street is cut off, so we got a few things going on. I'll try and get a hold of someone at MnDOT. Tim will take care of that. But thank you very much. It's great to be here today. We've done trails. I've been involved in city government from Faribault, the Planning Commission, back to 1993, so it's about 26, 27 years. I've been involved in the Senate for the last 3, and I understand all the importance of these trails do. I'm actually in the middle of a bonding tour right now. We've done 1 bonding tour already so far throughout the state, and no matter what community you go, trails are important to people, to keep people in shape, promote healthy living, and so it's very important. So I know there's one more phase we're working on with Paul to get underneath the railroad trestle on 20th Street that we have some legislation for this upcoming session, so that I think will really help finalize things and get us around Faribault. So we'll continue to work hard on that. And again, thank you for everybody, and can hardly wait to use the trail when it goes all the way around the city of Faribault.
Definitely here in my my old role. We're just going backwards in the mayor thing. We had Kevin, John, and now me. I started on the Planning Commission in 1991. Dave Miller came in about 2 weeks after I did. Joined City Council, was mayor. When I was done being mayor, went back to Planning Commission. I give you that history, A, to justify the gray hair, B, to mention that probably a good 25 years ago was the first time I saw this or heard was in a meeting this part of the trail discussed. Boy, eventually it'd be nice to get Cicada, and there's this new Milltown Trail thing coming. We're going to need them connected. We're going to need to somehow figure out to get across that bridge. Meeting, again, over 25 years, and to acknowledge the Milltown Trail Board with Peggy. I mean, as soon as she walked in with that shirt, I had that same shirt 25 years ago. It long since just got stretched out and blown out and faded. It's not even a rag around the house anymore. But Peggy shows up with a new Milltown Trail shirt. A lot of times I talk about government work is the slow boring of hardwood with a hand drill and a dull bit. You just show up every day and you just keep working the drill. You don't see the benefit, you don't see the results, but you just dedicate your career to showing up and cranking away. I asked Paul if I could just jump in and say a few words about the one on the city council that cranked that drill longer than anybody, and it's Carol King. Kay Duchesne somewhere in the crowd. Oh, I see Steve. We've got a quorum of 1990s city council members here, by the way. Dave Miller's here. John's here. We got it. But Kay was on Milltown Trail for a while. I was on Milltown Trail. And then it went to Carol somewhere in the mid-90s, late 90s. And her dedication to getting this done was exemplary. Even after I was no longer in city council, Carol would still call and talk to me about what are we missing? What are the state grants? What are the federal grants? How can we get this river crossed? So when I heard this was coming up, I asked Paul just to come in for a few minutes and to celebrate the one who showed up with the drill and the dull bed, and Carol King put a lot of work into this, and just I guess on behalf of her, because she's no longer with us, this is a great day to celebrate, and thank you for the time, Paul.
Thanks, Chuck. And next up, we have Marv Trandom.
Say, Faribault Flyers, where are you? All right. For Faribault Flyers, we're an enthusiastic bike club. To let you know, there's about 80 of us. We are dedicated to bike riding, but also to helping others, especially our youth, with helping them in bicycling activities, as well as getting this trail extended from Red Wing all the way to Mankato, and that's going to happen one of these days. I hope I'm alive. That's the problem. But it surely will. This is a great day for Faribault. As you notice, I noticed this bicyclist coming down the line. That's what it's about, accessibility to this trail. Families can get out, enjoy the hot, nice air, enjoy Mother Nature, enjoy the great outdoors. Mother Earth, see the cycle of all the things that happen and on the trails in the state. This is just a beautiful chance here for us to not only the kids but the parents too. Get off the computer, go biking instead. Make that once a day, once a week, once a day too, but once a week. Anyway. We're also looking, of course, at the major part of the system, that is getting from Red Wing to Mankato, and hopefully we can get the bike club is very active in cajoling, getting up front with our state legislators. I know that's why they were tardy. It wasn't because of traffic. It was because us trying to see us Faribault Flyers in their rooms at the state capitol. That's the problem, isn't it, John? Anyway, want to just thank all the people that are involved, and there's so many to get this segment of our trail system going. To the Faribault Flyers for all the work that they have done over the years. Day on the Hill, big day. We get to see our state legislators in the process, and have a good time with them, actually. Also, Peggy Pro, who we can't imagine all the work that she's done in the process, as well now as our city officials like Paul, and our city, other city people, and who council, who all contribute. This is part of a whole group of people, not just one person. So thank you so much for getting this going.
Thanks, Marv. Next up, we have DNR, and I'm not sure who's speaking for DNR, if it's Scott or if Peter. Arm wrestle over it. I don't know if you're the loser or the winner.
Thanks, Scott. No, this is great. I am excited to be part of this event. The neatest thing about this, and someone mentioned this before, is seeing people utilize this trail. I came by here this weekend. I live down in Northfield, and I wanted to check the bridge out because I've been hearing all kinds of great things about it. And there's small kids, there's elderly people, there's people walking their dogs, there's people jogging. The partnerships around these kind of projects are critical. We have projects like this all over the state, and there's only limited dollars that the legislature hands out to communities. And the most successful communities are the ones that build these partnerships. And the other piece about the partnerships is having these groups that are persistent. When you have those two things coming together, you see results like this. And it's like all the folks that are here and all the folks that are behind the scenes doing all this work to make this happen. And I'm going to mention Scott again, because he's one of these people behind the scenes that kind of pulled the levers behind the curtain, made sure things were moving forward, hounded me on a monthly basis for things that were needed for this project. And then his predecessors too, people like Steve Hennessy, who some of you probably know, who worked in Scott's position, and Kent Score, who did a lot behind the scenes with some of the contractual stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes to make these happen. One of the things I'll just mention is that this is such a cool project, but really step back and think about the larger vision between having a trail that connects all these communities between Mankato and Red Wing and south of Red Wing. We are so close. It's going to be one of the longer trails in the state system. It'll be about 80 miles. We have about 20 or so miles left to figure out. One of those pieces is coming together very nicely. It's the piece between Faribault and Dundas. We just locked in the last little parcel of land, and we own a 6-mile rail corridor now. And that was in the works for years and years. And that's the nature of these projects. But it's people like you who spend a lot of time leveraging the resources that make these projects work. And so we're really excited to be part of these processes that are community driven and led. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, Peter. Next, we are going to actually walk down to the bridge. We're going to do the ribbon cutting down at the bridge. We want to thank Chuck Thiel. He's from the Chamber of Commerce. He's bringing us actually the ribbon and the big pair of scissors for the ribbon cutting. So